Wraith of God, issue number 1, it came out a few months ago, written and illustrated by Aaron Lopresti. And to help me talk about this book, I have two of my good friends, Drew and Kyle, over from Comics Elite Comics. And these guys know what they're talking about. Every single week, they put out a video discussing all the new comics that have come out that week. You guys read anywhere from 30 to 40 books a month? Or a week, sorry, excuse me.
I wish it was that much a month. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, anywhere between 30 to 40 a week we're reading.
Yeah. So it's always good to get y'all's take on books like this that are crowdfunded and then get published by these creators and then thrown out into the public. And I actually got this copy from my man Kyle here. So thanks for hooking me up, man.
You're welcome.
I was late to the game. And off of popular demand, you guys were like, you got to read this. So they had an extra copy, and it didn't disappoint. I will absolutely say it did not disappoint. So let me ask, I'm going to flip through this, and if you guys see anything, just let me know. But let me get your initial reactions on this. What do you guys, what did y'all take from this? And why is it probably one of the best crowdfunded books that you guys have backed?
Yeah, there was something about, full disclosure, we did interview Aaron Lopresti, writer, creator of Wraith of God on our channel. That being said, this was just a perfect marrying of storytelling and art. And I'm a big fan of Westerns. Sergio Leone, I the Dollar trilogy, I think is one of the best. All of those, Fistful of Dollars, A Few Dollars More, The Good, Bad, and the Ugly. I love Westerns, and this was just scratching me right where I itch. And it's sort of like Gunslinger Spawn. We don't have a lot of Western books out right now, so this was just something that was in a niche that I felt was just a perfect time. And I love a good mystery, and anything with werewolves, I'm all there for it. So yeah, I think the art and storytelling was damn near perfect in this book.
I definitely got to echo that, and that was one thing that I'd noticed as well, is that it's a good mixture of action, adventure, mystery, and horror, all kind of wrapped up into one book. Because you have this mystery of and by the way, we are going to get into spoilers in this video, but you have this mystery of this medallion, of what it's capable of doing. You have the mystery of the townsfolk who have come in on this the hour of this full moon rising, and so you don't know who these individuals are who are coming into town, and you don't know which one could potentially be this werewolf that our hero has to fight off here. I'll note now that I've...
Yeah, the Clint Eastwood character right there. It's oh, he's a sheriff. He's the new guy. He's the new guy. It's maybe.
Exactly. You're introduced to a lot of different characters, but there's not too... you don't spend too much time with them, so you're not, exactly sure, maybe they could be good, maybe they could be bad. But like you said, this is a direct... I'm trying to find another photo or an image of him, but this is a direct image of Clint Eastwood. The sheriff is a great representation of that.
Yeah, he's the man with walking through the town.
Oh, 100%. Here's another great, just doubles page, incredible artwork.
Yeah, and case in point, I do want to echo this, what you just said, a great double page splash right there.
Yeah. You
compare that to what Marvel will do for a double pager, where you'll just have a random guy lying in a bed that you have no clue who they are. And that's a double pager? It's
exactly.
Okay, sure. Aaron here, you get full on action in a double pager. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. And there's our Clint Eastwood character again. But I do think that the story is paced really well. The pacing in this as well. Not only is it good storytelling, but the pacing in it is fantastic. We get a little bit of a backstory, which kind of gave me more insight into the character, because the beginning of the character, we're seeing him kind of treat his sidekick. Her name is Esther. Yeah. He's kind of treating her like crap, and he's being real dismissive of her. And I'm like, damn, dude, this guy has no remorse. But we find out later, in his backstory, how badly he was wronged by the woman who he thought that he was going to fall in love with. So that kind of gave me more of like a, oh, okay, I understand now why he's kind of treating her like this, you know. But then as of later in the book, we finally get a larger reason why, which we'll get to in a little bit. Another great double pager here.
Yeah,
or actually, that's just this one.
Yeah, Gabe El Taib on the colors. They are beautiful. He did a great job with that as well.
They really are, man. They complement each. So like whenever there is something like a darker tone that needs to be portrayed, he's really able to get that across with the colors that he portrays. So it's not just the art, but like determined by like what time they set some of these images in, like whether it's nighttime or daytime. So I do really enjoy the art and the colors. Now, I did want to get to some negatives because I do have some issues with the book. I mean, no book is ever perfect.
We had our issues. I had mine.
I actually didn't. I wish they did something better with Esther's origin. I actually think they could have done something cooler where she was maybe like a prostitute or something, or like a, I don't know, like she was some sort of villain, and that Wraith of God actually saved her from some like life of grime and grit, and like saved her from that and gave her like higher purpose. Whereas like she starts off as like a goody two shoes and then ends up kind of like lecturing him at the end of the book. So it was almost like reversed. So that was maybe something that I thought could have been a little bit better. I don't know.
I will say the one area I had fault with, I don't know if it was too much with you, but like I felt that Aaron tipped his hat too much. As showing that he told us the whole backstory. Well, as far as we know, most of it.
Yeah.
About where he comes from, his origin, what happened to him. It's like, I felt strongly, don't show that. Don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Leave it a mystery. Leave us hanging on so we can come back for the next chapter. But I understand where he was coming from. He wasn't sure if this was going to be successful or not, because he had done a crowdfunding book previously. It was successful. So I understand why he put it all into this, because he wasn't sure if it was going to make it or not. But yeah.
And I can totally see that. I almost kind of, because it would be, in my opinion, I think it would have been better if our Wraith of God character was almost like a spawn, like where it's kind of almost like this soul or ghostly figure that has these kind of godlike spiritual powers, but to find out that he's, spoilers, a man, he's like just a dude. I was like, I don't know. I feel like they could have really done something cool where he's like otherworldly, like ethereal, right?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, also in the book, there's a scene where, is he hallucinating? I don't know. Is he drunk? He's talking to an angel, it appears. An angel comes to visit him. Or is it? No. So there's a lot of things that aren't 100% clear on this yet. So maybe there are some otherworldly elements with the character that we'll get into. But I hope we do touch upon those more. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I would love to see more of his power set. I think that if like his powers were a little bit more defined, it would be pretty cool to then determine what God is able to empower him with. Like, because, you know, we see, I think it was the Archangel Michael visiting him in a dream.
Yeah, sounds right.
Or,
was it Gabriel?
Yeah. Gabriel? I forget. But beautiful illustration here, and like I said, or you guys had noted, great coloring by Gabe. And so I definitely understood the context of having that spiritual aspect of things, and I actually really appreciated how far he went with that, because a lot of Wraith's motivation is simply just because God wills him to do it, you know? Like, they don't pull their punches. It's not like, you know, he has some something else that's motivating him. His motivation is his faith, his Christianity, which I think like few books tend to do. Yeah, absolutely. But did you guys have a favorite thing or something that you probably wish could have been done better within the book?
To me, honestly, I felt like if he had left out the backstory of him, how he met Esther and all that, if it was all a mystery, if it was all still a mystery, if we knew nothing about his backstory, I felt like this would have been a terrific, like a 9.5, like almost a near perfect comic. Yeah. But it's still a great read. But I feel like if you take out the backstory stuff, it would have been near perfect, in my opinion.
It's fair. Yeah, I'm about the same way. Again, even the small details, I was complimenting Aaron on. Even his paneling in this is awesome. How he panels his stories are so dynamic. It's so fun. There's just very little. I didn't want to really know a lot lot about the Wraith. I wanted to go on that journey of discovery with this character.
Little bit by bit, maybe, in each subsequent issue.
Yeah. So, in fact, he tipped his hat too early. It was like, damn it! But he's like, I did it for a reason, shut up.
Yeah.
My book. Like, all right.
Yeah, I mean, you can't knock the guy because this, like you said, it is his book. It's his creation. It's his story that he's trying to tell. But yeah, to allow the character to breathe a little bit more, add a bit more mystery, and plus, I just hated that character that was portrayed by Jacob, because we see that like Jacob is able to put on like different masks and different, characters. And one of the ones that he puts on is the one to kind of romanticize Esther or try and like be involved with her. And then there's the fire. And like you guys said, that whole backstory could have been plucked out of this book and made it like that much better. Because then it would have added that mystery to, is this guy kind of like this specter in the night? Like, is he otherworldly? Is he godly? This like, creature, or is he just a man that, fell in love or has this, backstory to find Esther? And by the way, speaking of her, did it seem justified that she kind of, at the end of the book, had this visceral response to him at the very end as he's like injured and kind of lying in the cave there?
I felt so. Yeah. I mean, it felt like it was a culmination of all the emotions and experiences she'd had with him in prior life and everything. Then I felt like it made sense, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it felt earned. I mean, thinking he's dead this whole time.
Yeah.
And then, wait, this guy's talking shit to me this whole time, and it turns out to be you, who I thought was dead. Yeah, I'm gonna be pissed. So I think it's just.
That's fair. Yeah, absolutely. I do like her inner monologue throughout the book, how she's kind of has this dilemma of, am I serving God in the way that I should, or am I just serving this kind of weirdo dude who she doesn't really know very well? And so there's kind of that back and forth of like, my purpose is for the Lord and for his work, but as we're killing these demons and werewolves and vampires or whatever it is, are we actually doing the work of God? And apparently to Wraith, yes, they are. So she just kind of has to follow his lead until at the end, like I said, we're introduced to that dichotomy that she's dealt with. So I definitely think she's justified. I think my only like recourse would be that I wish that it was because she started off as something different than the already saved, already Christian, already like perfect woman. Not saying that she's like a Mary Sue or anything, because she's obviously has a great dialogue and great internal dialogue. But I wish that she came from like almost nothing and then found Wraith and gave her that like greater purpose and said, follow me, as we fight these like awful beings, and I'll give you a greater purpose through God. I think that would have been a cool redemption arc for her to like from rags to riches type of thing. I don't know, but maybe that's just me.
And hey, you know what? Maybe we'll discover something like that with a past life of hers in a subsequent issue. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe. But it's like you said, she really wasn't that much growth with her from beginning to end, other than discovering about who he was.
Yeah. But overall, like I said, I think one of the really great selling points about this book is that mixture of art and writing. The artwork is fantastic. The coloring is great. It reminds me, and I get like reminiscent images of older cross-gen books like Sojourn and what was the other one? Ruse. And I love that aspect of it. So yeah, I'll kind of give you guys...
Yeah,
that's reworked. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. So I'll give you guys the final word if you guys have anything else to say on the book. Overall, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed this more than ISOM, I will say. And it's looking like the next phase of this is going to be just as exciting and is going to bring more depth to the character. So yeah, I'll leave it for you guys.
Honestly, we've read a lot of crowdfunded books, and a lot of them are just marginally average, or if not worse, where like they can't, I mean, they're great artists, but they just can't tell the story well. They just don't know how to do it correctly from beginning, middle to end. There's pacing is terrible and all that. But this is one of those few, the rare breed like Cyberfrog, where there is great pacing, great storytelling, great art, and they're able to tell a coherent story, and coherent, engaging, exciting story at that.
Fair. Yeah, I think, a big issue with these crowdfunded books is they need good editors. Yeah. You need somebody to kind of come in and say, tighten it up a little bit. Did you think about changing this? And it's like, yeah, most of these guys are seasoned vets and pros that have been doing it for a while, but you think about it, it's like they all had editors at some point in their careers. And so when you're kind of off on your own, you think what you're doing is great until you have somebody else look at it and say, well, yeah, I guess you're probably right. So, but I think so far he's done a great job of listening to people. I don't know if he's having editors read this beforehand. We don't know. But I think he's doing a great job so far, and I'm really excited for Volume 2.
Yeah,
can't
absolutely.
wait. So I backed the hell out of that one too.
Yeah, we both did.
Yeah, we reviewing that.
I saw the Simon Bisley cover. He launched that later. The Simon Bisley cover, like he got me. I had to get the Bisley cover. So yeah.
So, but we're holding these guys accountable for their stuff. It's like we're spending money on this, hundreds of dollars. So, I mean, we're going to tell you if it's good or not. And I think they need that. All these crowdfunded people need that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And that's the thing, is like we could sit here and, spoon after this and just kind of like spin our wheels and talk about, oh, it's the best thing ever. But honestly, I had faults with it. You guys had just a few things about like the backstory. But ultimately, out of those crowdfunded books, this is one of the better ones that I have seen, that I've read. And it is difficult because so many of those books are mid-tier level books, whether it's the writing or the pacing. The artwork always tends to be pretty solid. But yeah. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at this now, and I really don't see an editor, like on here on the. So and I think a lot of these books, like you said, would benefit so much from, just to have someone read over this and maybe hone a little bit of the talent of that creativity into something a little bit more special.
Right. And not people that are just like, oh, everything you do is great. Everything's wonderful. It's like no one's perfect. There's no perfect book. There's no perfect comic book. There's no perfect writer. Stuff's going to get missed. Mm-hmm. But like trying to get as good as possible. I think he's on track right now. So
yeah. And he set a high bar. Yes, and hopefully issue 2 is just as good, if not better.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, thank you guys again for being on. I'll put the link in the description below for you guys to go follow Comics Elite, where they review books every single week that you guys can go see. Even if you're not a comic book reader, they do some fantastic videos over there that allows you to really understand like what books are coming out every week and what some of these writers are doing to our characters, to our stories, and some of the really positive ones. They also have a top 10 every single week based off of what they read. So I appreciate the work that you guys do. Thanks for being on the show. And thank you guys for watching. Let us know in the comment section below if you guys would like to see these guys come back on the channel and review a different book. So thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.